What you don't need is a complicated 12-month strategy to start your bookkeeping business. You really don't. What you need is a simple plan, a little focused time, and the willingness to take imperfect action. Today, I'm sharing a 30-day plan that will make you make meaningful progress in the early phases of business without feeling overwhelmed. By the end of this video, you'll feel grounded, focused, and ready to take action. This 30-day plan follows the framework of my 4-phase roadmap that I shared in video 3 of the 6-part video series. And the 4 phases are clarity, presence, clients, and confidence. And so if you haven't watched that roadmap framework that I shared, it's video 3. I'll link it here, but I'll also put the link in the description of this video. You can watch it after this video. I promise you that you can make a big dent in those early days, and you start to build that momentum that I keep talking about. This plan that I'm sharing with you simply gives you sort of like an action plan that you can follow so that you always know where to start and what the next step is supposed to be. The main goal here is to keep moving forward and take imperfect action. I'm Veronica Sagastumi, and this is the Bookkeeping Show. If you're new here, I've spent more than 30 years in accounting, finance, consulting, and running my own bookkeeping and accounting practice. I have primarily focused on helping funded startups to scale. I've built and led teams, and now I get to help professionals and bookkeepers like you to build profitable and flexible businesses from day one. Before we jump into the 30-day plan, let me quickly recap where we are in this 6-part video series that I'm calling Start and Grow Your Bookkeeping Business in 2026. In video 1, we talked about 3 things that you must do before accepting your first bookkeeping client so that you don't say yes too soon or create problems for yourself down the road. In video 2, I shared 5 simple foundations that you can put in place to launch your bookkeeping business without feeling overwhelmed, especially if you're starting from scratch or picking things back up. And in video 3, I walk you through the complete 4-phase roadmap so that you can clearly see what to focus on as you're starting your bookkeeping business in 2026. Today's video builds on that roadmap that I shared with you in video 3 of the series. We're taking those 4 phases and turning them into this 30-day plan that you can easily follow along at your own pace. You can choose to move for 1 phase per week if you're at the point where you have the time and are ready to take that kind of action. Or you can slow it down if life is too busy. This plan will help you to keep moving forward. Week 1 is all about clarity, not perfection. Not building the perfect business plan, just enough direction to keep moving forward without second-guessing yourself. Think of this week as setting the stage. You're deciding what you want your business to look like, even if it still feels a little blurry around the edges. Maybe you already know you want to offer monthly bookkeeping services. Great, start there. Or maybe at this stage, you already know that the industry you want to focus on is those service-based businesses because that's what you know and that's what you're comfortable with. Great. You've already decided what you're going to specialize in. That's enough clarity for right now. Start with what you know and what you're feeling comfortable with. Remember, you're not locking anything in forever. You're simply starting to point your focus in a direction. Once you choose your starting services, you're going to pick one bookkeeping software to focus on, to start with, and practice on. Please don't spend the entire week trying to look at 15 different options to choose from. Just make a decision, pick one, and start to master it. I often recommend you start with QuickBooks Online because it's the most often, used and it's got a great reputation, but you can also choose Xero. And a lot of them have free trainings and they have practice files that you can just start to spend maybe even just 10 minutes a day to familiarize yourself with it or get a refresher if you've already used it in the past, but it's been a while since you've touched it. The goal here is to make decisions and gain momentum. Keep moving forward. Next, take a few minutes to set up your business email. We talked about that in a previous video, but I'm also going to mention it here to set up your business email. It makes you look more professional, and just that in itself gives you a little bit more credibility. And also set up some simple files for yourself. This step may seem boring, but it will save you so much stress later when things start moving really fast. And finally, create your 1-sentence introduction. Something simple that you can say out loud without freezing, without getting stuck on those filler words. None of that. You're going to be preparing. Remember, you're setting the stage. You can refine it later. Right now, you just want to jot down a sentence that you can practice so that it feels natural. For example, if we're going to be a little bit more focused and select that niche that I'm talking about, here are some examples that you can draft, and practice. I work with photographers to keep their books clean and simple so tax time is not stressful. I help plumbing businesses keep their books organized so they know what jobs are actually profitable. I support law firms with accurate, timely bookkeeping so they can focus on their clients instead of their messy books. Welcome to week 1. You're exactly where you should be. Okay, let's recap week 1. Pick your starting service, pick your bookkeeping software and start practicing. Set up your business email in simple folders. Write your 1-sentence introduction. Now that you have your foundation in place and you're starting to feel grounded, it's time to give your business a little visibility. You don't need a perfect website or a big online presence. You just need a simple way for people to find you and to know what it is that you do, how you can help. Let's move into week 2. Week 2 is where your business starts to feel real. In week 1, you build the foundation. Now you're giving it a front door. This doesn't mean for you to build a massive website, ultra complicated, or trying to be everywhere all at once. It does mean creating a simple, clear place where someone can land to understand who you help, how you help, and how they can get in touch with you. Next, you may consider setting up your Google business profile, but only if it's applicable to you in your area. This does help to make you look established, and if you're trying to reach people locally, it's a great way for them to find you and get a hold of you. Some businesses really like the idea of having somebody locally. Even if you are going to have a remote online bookkeeping business, some people just feel comfortable knowing that you're right there, just down the street or 5 minutes away if they need. And next, you're going to be creating your outreach list. This is a list of 20 to 30 people that you already know, former coworkers, maybe past clients, colleagues, people you went to school with, or people in your actual professional network. And finally, you want to draft your discovery call invitation message. This is a simple, friendly note. It's not a pitch. You are literally opening the door to the conversation. For example, "Hi, Mary. I wanted to share a quick update. I'm now supporting small law firms with my bookkeeping services. You happen to know of a firm that needs help with keeping their books organized? I would really appreciate an introduction or sharing my contact information with them. No rush at all. Just wanted to let you know what I'm working on." By the end of week 2, your business exists outside of your head. You're no longer just thinking about it. "I'm thinking about starting a business." Nope. You, my friend, are taking action, and that alone builds your confidence. Okay, let's recap week 2. Create a simple 1-page or landing page. Set up a Google business profile. Build your direct outreach list. Draft your discovery call invitation message. Now that you have a presence and a list of people that you trust, it's time to move on to the fastest and most effective way to gain traction: direct outreach. Let's move on to week 3. Week 3 is all about outreach. Not social media, not posting and hoping, just real conversations with people already in your network. This is where I see bookkeepers waste the most time. So please let me be clear. You do not need to build an audience to get clients. You need to talk to people. Remember that list that we created in week 2? Get that list out. Start by reaching out to 5 to 10 people on that list. These are what we call warm connections. People who already know you, people who may have already worked with you. They know your work ethic. They know your personality, your values, just like what makes you tick. Almost like a matchmaker. Those people know who you may be a good match for. You want to keep the message short and human, not robotic, no AI, just be you. Use your words and tap into that relationship that you have with that person on your list. Let them know you are offering bookkeeping services and who you're focusing on helping. That's part of your niche. Or who you're specializing, what industry you're specializing in. This step right here is why I created my free resource, Context to Clients. It walks you through a simple, direct outreach approach, so you're not guessing what to say. I'll leave a link so that you can grab it when you're ready. Or if you've already grabbed it, refer to it so that you can work through that direct outreach plan in this step. The goal in week 3 is not to close deals. The goal in week 3 is just to simply start conversations. Conversations lead to clarity, referrals, and discovery calls. By the end of this week, you'll start thinking like a business owner who is actively building, not waiting. Let's recap week 3. You're going to send 5 to 10 direct outreach messages. Use your network instead of social media. Start real conversations. Use the Context to Clients resource for guidance. If this video is helping you, please consider liking and subscribing it so that you don't have to miss the next few videos in this 6-part video series. You want to feel ready when a prospect schedules a discovery call with you. That brings us to week 4. Week 4 is all about preparation and confidence. This is when everything starts to come together. Start by practicing a mock discovery call. You can do it on your own like this, record yourself, pretend like somebody's asking you these different questions and how you would show up, how you would prepare for the call, and how you would answer some of these, those kind of questions where people start asking, well, how does it work? How much does it cost? What would you need from me? Ultimately, I want you to practice so that when you actually have that call with the prospect, you will feel prepared and you will be calm. You will then also want to prepare your intake questionnaire so that after the discovery call, you send that out so that you can gather more information from the prospect so that you can then prepare a proposal and price it accordingly, having the right information available to you. At this stage, I also want you to review your proposal template and review it from the point of view of your client. Is it a good experience? Is it seamless? Does it have good information? Does it outline the next steps, or does it leave room for a lot of vagueness and more questions? You want to simplify the process. You want to outline what they can expect and be timely with how you deliver whatever expectation you've set for them. You maybe want to ask a friend to help you walk through the whole process because you want to see from start to finish what is the experience from the client's perspective. And you want it to be seamless, smooth, professional, and also ultimately, you want them to say yes without any friction, right? By the way, I do have 1 or 2 videos that walk you through how to prepare and host a discovery call. So I'll be sure to add that link to the description of this video and you can watch it whenever you're ready. I want you to take time at the end of this week to reflect on how far you've come. Even if things felt messy, you took action. And at the end of the day, that's what matters. Let's recap week 4. You're going to practice a mock discovery call. You're going to prepare your intake questionnaire. Very important. Gather the data so you can price accordingly. Review your proposal template and overall delivery service. Watch that discovery call walkthrough video. By the way, in this video, I have referenced 2 resources that I have available for you. Context to Clients and 10 Steps to Kickstart Your Bookkeeping Business. Both of those are available for you to grab and to access and start using while you're working through this 30-day plan. And your 30 days may look a little bit longer. It doesn't matter as long as you have a plan of action. My resources are designed to help you take action with clarity and confidence. So as you can see, in 30 days, which is 4 weeks, you can make meaningful progress. Week 1 brings clarity. Week 2 builds your presence. Week 3 creates conversations. Week 4 builds on your confidence because you are prepared. Move at your own pace. Keep moving forward. Tell me in the comments, are you going to get started? When are you starting week 1? Up next in this video series is a day in the life of a bookkeeper, where I share with you what the work really looks like, how the days are structured, and what you may be actually doing for clients. It's a great follow-up if you're trying to picture yourself in this role. If you don't see the video yet, check back in a few days because I will be publishing it. It's the next video in this 6-part video series of Start and Grow Your Bookkeeping Business in 2026. Thanks so much for watching. Keep taking the imperfect action, and I will see you in the next video. I'm Veronica. Bye for now.